Everybody, this is Dan Spitz, and you're rocking with DJ Delz. Excellent. Nice to meet you, bro.
Nice to meet you, man. I've been wanting this interview for forever, man. You know?
You're a fucking pest, but it worked.
No, yeah, I have to. Listen, you guys are busy guys. You know, this is how to get things done, you know?
Only because I was moving cross country and then setting up this massive workshop and
you know how it is to be a pest. From my understanding, you were a pest when you guys got your record deal. You were a pest in JohnnyZ all the time, right?
If you're not a pest, you're not going to get anywhere in life. That's why I tell everybody. You know, when somebody says no, just keep poking the bear.
What do you guys? You guys went to like he was eating pancakes at one point with his girl or something like that, and you were still pushing the demo. You were like trying to track him down at the flea markets.
Yeah, you know, me and Scott were like, I lived up in Rockland County, New York, which is about a half hour outside of Manhattan, and he was in Queens, and that's like the asphalt jungle to me. I'm like, they called me the hick. You know, they never saw grass before in their life till I took them up, you know, and then eventually I took them to my country house way up where Woodstock was.
Wow.
I had a house about half a mile from the real Woodstock site, like on a lake and stuff. And they lost their minds up. They didn't even know what to do. So yeah, back then, you know, I would go pick up Scott all the way to fucking Queens. And then JohnnyZ in those days, there was none of this shit, obviously, right? There was it was like an old broken down like supermarket that went out of business, and on the weekends they had a flea market inside. Flea market, you know, is people selling shit, and he had his little record booth in there. But he had the best fucking import records. He had the Motorhead. He had, you know, just everything, just all the shit you couldn't get in regular record stores because they, you know, little kids came in there and they had to comply by all the little stupid fucking rules back then. So we were out there to get the good music. So I'd go all the way to Queens, pick him up. We go all the way out to fucking South Jersey. And, you know, we were like, I bet you this guy could do something for us. He knows people. That was kind of like the premise. As two, like, you know, two kids just trying to take over the world. Like, who can fucking help us? There's no internet. You can't just push buttons and find people in fucking London somewhere back then. You got to get in your car, Shoe Leather Express with your fucking sneakers.
Yeah.
And start fucking hitting the road, man. Do whatever you had to do. So we would drive out there and pester him to death, like you said. It was just the end of the story. Just keep going out. And he was like, what do you guys expect me to do? You know, at one point we had Metallica's cassette and our cassette. We're like, dude, you got to fucking help us, bro.
Yeah, right.
I got a record booth, bro. Like, what do you want me to do? And we just kept driving out and pestering him, man. Until finally he's like, all right. I'll take these into Manhattan, into the record companies, and let's see what we can do. And that's how it all started, man.
Yeah, you and Metallica, you guys were have a lot of history together, you know. Just looking at the past and everything, like with Metallica, do you remember the first time you actually met those guys?
No, not the first time.
I know it's a long time ago.
Yeah,
I know you guys would do shows in like Westchester County. Like you would do shows at Mount Vernon. You guys would do shows and whatnot. I'm showing just some photos of you right here, but like right over here, there's a little advertisement in the corner. Special guest Anthrax, and this was in Mount Vernon by that bank back in the days. Do you remember those times?
The earliest I remember is the famous story of us rehearsing in what's called the Music Building in Forest Hill, Queens. The next town over Forest Hills, I think, which is where my grandmother had a place. So I kind of knew that area a little bit because we would drive out to pick up my grandmother for special events. But it was like this condemned apartment building. There was no one who was supposed to be in it. I think back now, like, how the fuck are we still alive kind of thing. And from what I remember, this is that famous, you know, it's where you walked in this building and it's not supposed to have electricity or nothing. It's just like these big dudes sitting at an old, like, teacher's metal school desk in front of the elevators. They tapped into the fucking electricity poles, got the electricity on, and they were renting out all the rooms to all bands to rehearse. I don't know how or what this I don't know. I think back now, like, I don't know. That was those guys who were from, you know, Queens and stuff. They just knew. Yeah, we go rehearse the music building. Again, I'm the hick from upstate New York, right? Even though it's like 25 minutes or so from the city, that's like the hick.
Oh, trust me, I'm from Westchester County. I'm from Westchester County, so I know.
Westchester. All right, so it was all right for us, Delz.
I'm here too.
It was in this real sketchy area, man. And that's that famous story when Metallica came in for the first time and they had nowhere to stay. You know, we all had no money at that time, right? We were just trying to, we were like little kids, you know. We had dreams of this new music that we knew didn't sound like anything else, but nobody had heard it yet, you know. And we let them sleep on our floor. They came in to meet JohnnyZ, if I remember correctly. And then eventually we got them out to JohnnyZ's house way out in South Jersey, and they were sleeping in his basement for a little while and then back up to the music building. That's the famous story where they eat raw frankfurters. You know,
oh yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah. The toaster oven broke. I think we had him at like one of those little toaster ovens, and it broke. So I think it was Kurt. He was like, "Dude, man, I had to eat raw franks the other night." That, you know, that's what you do, and that's what you did back then.
The grind.
You grind. You grind. There was no, you know, you know, one hit wonder. You're in a tour bus tomorrow. There's none of that. And I had already been through that. I've been in, you know, I started the band Overkill too. So I'm like, even before them, I was already doing the, you know, the thrash metal was in my blood with Overkill, writing, you know.
Yeah, you're a serious founder when it comes to just bands in general.
I ran into Blitz a year or so, two years ago, a year or so ago. I went to one of their shows, and he goes, "You know that there's 3 of your songs on our first album, right?" I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah." He goes, "We used them," and I never knew all these years. You know, I was in all different bands in Rockland County and playing in the bars since I was like 13, and that's how I met Blitz. Blitz is from Rockland.
Okay.
I was out one night watching John Petrucci's now wife's band.
Wow.
Yeah, that's how, and he was there. Blitz was there. He's like, "I live right up the street, bro. Let's do something." So that's how Overkill started, right there. So the whole, our town was Rockland. You know, split up the words, bro. It was rocking.
That's crazy. I've never heard that story before.
That's how he lived literally like 4 or 5 blocks up the road from this place called Manhattan's. It was a club. In Rockland County, you had 2 places that had like metal on the weekends. One was the Orangeburg Pub. That's been talked about quite a few times, and that was down the street from my high school and where I lived. I lived across the street from the high school. So I used to play there all the time. And then the other club was Manhattan's, which was in Nanuet, New York.
Yeah, I've been out that way, definitely. As I said, I'm from Westchester County, Yonkers, and then like like Elmsford and Ardsley and White Plains area. So,
cool.
And you guys had a studio in Yonkers for the longest. Yeah. I never knew that, but I was so young, man. I would have freaked out if I seen you guys when I was a kid. I would have been like, "What?" You know? Because I talked to Charlie. I've had Charlie on the show before, and I was telling him, like, "I can't believe you guys were in Yonkers, and I never ran into you guys when I was kids." Like,
yeah, we I don't know how or why we ended up in Yonkers, but we found this really cool like building, a second floor of a building, and we moved in, and there was somebody in there like we were sharing a space. It was a big open space, and they had like put like a old school mixing board in there, you know, with all the fucking millions of knobs and stuff like that, and that was a place that caught fire.
Yeah.
And the reason it caught fire, I don't know if anyone's ever told the story or anything. The reason it caught fire is they had read an article that it was better to leave all your electronics on all the time and never shut it off. When you shut it off, that's when the old mixing boards would fuck up. You know, they wouldn't turn on. The circuit boards
burn out. Oh, wow.
Burn out because when you turn it back on, you get a sudden surge of electricity that's got to go through all the circuits and the capacitors and everything, and all the caps are all old. So it stands a chance that you could could pop a capacitor and stuff. Obviously, I'm talking about electronics because
nah, please, I'm loving it, bro.
They left that shit all the fucking time, and it caught fire in the middle of the night. Charlie called me in like 7 in the morning. My phone never rings at 7 in the morning, and I pick up the phone, and we were supposed to rehearse that day. And I'm right across the Tappan Zee Bridge in Rockland. I just shoot right over it. It was right there. It was like right on the water on the Hudson on the other side in Yonkers. Yes. Cool, really cool place. Great fucking deli across the street too.
I've been out that way, right over there, and then a little bit more. You have the outlets and whatnot. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's really, really killer location. So it was. Now I remember, it was centrally located for me to get to, and for those guys to come in. You know, Scott could pick up, I think, Charlie in the Bronx by the Drogzak, and then shoot right over. So we were like almost central. So you know, Charlie called me 7 in the morning. He goes, Spitz, get up. Our equipment, everything's burnt down to the ground. I'm like, dude, it's fucking 7 a.m. Stop fucking with me, you know? I think I might have hung up on him. I think I did, and then he called back. He goes, no, dude, I'm serious. Like, I'm freaking out, you know, kind of thing. And I got over there. And when I pulled up, there's just fire trucks everywhere, smoke. I mean, the whole streets were flooded with ashes, and you know, it was massive. The whole building fucking burned down. And my guitar roadie, Art Ring, was with me for forever, right? Mm-hmm. He went in as soon as there was like, they basically put out most of the fire, still like singeing and shit. He fucking dove in. They told him no one's allowed in. He fucking right in there. And he saw that all our guitars were in he had put them all the way on the far end in the corner, all stacked up. So all our guitars were smoke damaged, but we saved all our guitars. So everyone always asks, what are your guitars that got burned in the fire, right? Your Turtles guitar is gone, right? And no, there's a picture that Mark Weiss took, famous, incredible photographer Mark Weiss. He came down because his studio's in Manhattan. He came fucking running down. And we took all the guitars out of the cases, and in the backyard there was a big ditch that the firemen had dug. I guess, I don't know what they were doing. And we put all the guitars in the ditch, and then I'm standing on top of my guitars. There's a picture on the internet. Like you can find it easy. It's everywhere. That's like an hour after the fire like was put out right there. Just it was like one of those savior pictures. Like, at least I got my motherfucking guitars, bro.
It's like,
all our amps
they were in cases. They were in guitar cases.
Just regular guitar. So they were taken out of the road cases. So when you travel in those days, we kept guitars in the regular like guitar cases when you go to a store and buy a guitar, but those cases go in other cases, road cases, and they're just stacked up. So we didn't have the more modern. Now you see people traveling that like the guitars are all like in these really fancy fucking velour cases. You know, we didn't have that. We just stacked them up and they would just take them out. So
those are some damn good cases then.
We lost all our amps, all the drums. So the sound of it, my sound of Anthrax at that point was done. Those were all my recording Mesa Boogie heads. They were all like the Mark.
And they were all modified, correct?
Mark II Cs that we were developing together, me and the guys at Mesa Boogie. There was no 2C yet. The famous sound of Metallica and all that. We were all working with them with their older amps, like trying to teach them like the sound that we had in our head that it didn't exist yet. You know, we were pests. Like, you know, like, dude, we need more bass. Like, and you know, the sound, man, it's in our head. Like, it's a tight bass. It's like the bass it's got to like stop. It doesn't sound like a fucking fart. You know. Yeah. Well, the amps back then when we were playing, when you chugged, it wasn't tight. The bass, we call it a fart. It's just, you know, it would fart the fucking speakers out. And we were trying to teach them and Jim Marshall for years, like the sound that was in our head, Metallica and Slayer, and my good buddy Dave Mustaine.
And you guys had a real distinct sound.
The kids of today are spoiled. They just go to a store and buy an amp that we all pressured, all Jim Marshall and those guys. You know, to the sound was in our head. I don't know how. You know, how or why it was put in us on the East Coast and those guys at the West Coast at the same time. But we all grew up, you know, listening to Maiden and Priest and all that stuff like that. And I guess we all always heard something that had more of a bass sound mixed in with guitars, you know, that would thud your fucking chest. And we would try to explain to them and the producers and everyone, you know, what was in us. How do you explain that to someone when it doesn't exist? You know, like, dude, I want the guitars to hit your chest. And again, those are the stories that we had all the fights with the producers too.
And they did. I mean, the sound was very distinct. Once you started hearing Spreading the Disease going into Among the Living, like that sound is a signature sound. The guitars, I mean, the whole altogether was just a signature sound, but the guitars.
But if anyone later on, after we're all dead, wonders why our albums, Metallica, Megadeth, and Slayer, why the first few albums are kind of like thin, the guitars are kind of like thin sounding, it's because the biggest and most famous producers in the world didn't know how to get a guitar and a bass together on vinyl and have the guitars have that bass without wiping the bass guitars off the album. Because as soon as you turned up the bass on the guitar, then you couldn't hear the bass guitar player. And that's where that famous line comes from when we would fight with them and say, well, then just turn the fucking bass off, motherfucker. The guitars are more important. Guitars rule the earth. Fuck the bass. And that's why our early albums basically had no bass. That's why Cliff Burton had more of a, like almost like a Steve Harris kind of sound, more clicky, high-endy. So get rid of the the rumble of a normal bass and just have it be more clicky so we could have those guitars. They didn't know how to fucking produce it back then.
Yeah, because I mean, this was a new sound, right? I mean, so it was just like trial and error, I would assume, and that's right with Cliff. Like, and rest in peace to Cliff Burton. Yeah, you have any Cliff experiences or stories you'd like to share, if you would like to? No pressure.
I mean, he was just such a wonderful guy.
Yeah,
as everyone says, you'll probably never ever find someone who says anything different, right?
Right.
And that's very rare in this world, and that holds true. That's just happy to be doing what he's doing in life and why he was placed here to do that kind of guy. Like, just happy as can be, and you know, a unique player. He had his own sound. That's the hardest thing to do in music. When someone puts back then the needle on the vinyl, and in 2 seconds you know who that dude is from any band, that means he's accomplished his mission. He doesn't sound like anybody else. That means you found your sound. You know, when I put on old Aerosmith like Joe Perry, I knew in 2 seconds who was fucking playing. It's fucking Joe Perry. Like, you just know, and that's the way he was. The story that sticks in my mind is the last night he was alive. You know, we're the only ones that know that story. And I remember the whole night. I remember coming out from the dressing room while they were playing. I remember the aura that was in that place, because at that time, Metallica had like this, when they played, you felt this presence in the audience that I don't know how to explain it, bro. It's like almost like a pressure. Like, you just knew they were special. Like, it wasn't just a sound. There was something going on, like in the fucking spirit realm or whatever it was. It was fucking serious. And I remember we were splitting. They told us it's snowing, and we got to go over this big mountain to get to Denmark, and you better leave now before it gets icy and shitty. You know, it's warmer now. If you leave early or later on in the night, the temperature's gonna drop. And I remember walking out, and we walked out, and it was Cliff's bass solo so that was the last time I saw him play. And we headed out to the buses, and I stayed up all night. I actually sat in the front with the bus driver on our bus, so I know how bad those roads were. There's no guardrails, almost like Mexican fucking roads, you know, like like that. And it was snowing. You couldn't see shit. It was just a whiteout, just snow everywhere. But I'd rather not speak about all the other stuff that I do know about. It's a fucked up story, man. No,
I can only imagine. And you know, I just wanted to mention that, really, just to celebrate.
What people should know is, in those days, there wasn't these American fancy tour buses we were all traveling on. We went to Europe and we spent a lot of time there. they hadn't. There was, I think, only 2 buses in all of Europe where they like gutted the bus and made it like a rock and roll tour bus with permanent bunks and permanent lounges in the front and the back. That is just normal now. We just traveled on regular buses. They would get a regular bus, but their buses they're called Van Hoels. That's the company that makes them. And it's like a Lego set. They unbolt the seats, like it's like flip levers. And then they take all the seats out when they have to do like something like us. And then there's like this Lego little plywood shit that they fucking just screw in and shit. Up. Fucking it's garbage. It's shit. Yeah. It's not a real bus. It's crap. So yeah. So it was just a bad scene, man.
Yeah. And there's always that famous photo of Cliff while you guys are playing, and he just looks so like happy, just messing around by the speaker. I'll pop that up when we put this on the air.
I remember when those guys landed at the hotel in Denmark. Later on, we got word something happened, and I remember James walking up and down the whole thoroughfare, the street. We were staying at a hotel in the main shopping area. And he was fucking, I don't know, I think he was busting windows everywhere, if I remember. I don't know, he was going nuts.
I can only imagine. You know? There was a brotherhood with each of you guys, like as bands, and then together, too, you guys get close.
Because America hadn't caught on to the sound yet. So the 2 of us, all of us, and you know, Megadeth, everybody, we were all spending all our time in Europe. Europe had caught on instantly. It was underground, you know. So we were touring, and we would never be home. We would just be living in Europe, basically. Unless we went to the Far East, to Japan, we wouldn't really be doing much touring here. It hadn't caught on. It was, you know, people were into fucking hair bands here.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Yeah. It was a different time where people, they didn't care that they didn't know how to play their instruments. You know, and in Europe, they would appreciate people who, you know, were locked in their rooms 14 hours a day as kids, and you know, practice their fucking till their fingers bled. You know, when we hit the stage, you know, it's fucking war, man. That's where that whole war thing comes from. That everyone shouts, "It's war!" You know, and all that. It sounds funny nowadays, but back then we're all friends off the stage. But once and Iron Maiden, that's all of us touring together at the time. Iron Maiden would always say, "Here, have all our sound and have all our lights open for us." No band does that, by the way. Just so all you guys.
Oh know. Yeah, I know that.
The volume of the fucking PA system down so that when the big band comes on, even if they're not better than you, they look that way. But Iron Maiden was always like, "Fuck, have at it, and guys, try to blow us off the stage." And we were like, "Oh, you mean it's like fucking war and shit?" And that's where that comes from, you know. So when you hit the stage, we were all serious players. Like, okay, I'm gonna fucking destroy you. But when you walk off stage, we're all like the best of friends.
And that must have been amazing, being that you grew up listening to like Maiden, and even I'm sure Ozzy. You know, it's like you went on tour with all these guys, and that just being that young, that just must have been mind blowing. You know,
really mind blowing. Yeah,
probably really surreal.
You eat some food, and like, you know, you realize like, holy shit, I'm fucking sitting with Ozzy. You know,
that's wild.
Yeah.
And Ozzy's a character.
I keep showing you the old man shit because people of this generation have to understand there was no like internet to see the behind the scenes stuff you all guys see of everybody now. It was like the rock star. That was the poser thing, but where the whole poser thing comes from. They wanted to be like rock stars. You can't get to us. We don't sign autographs. We go right to the bus. As soon as the show's over, you know, they run to the bus. It's that whole old school rock star. You can't touch the rock star, so he's elevated. And our music we hated that. So our music was, no, man, I'm make the fucking bus driver wait. We're going out back to meet the crowd, the real fans who came around, figured out where the back door was, figured out, fucking waited there after they know they got to be home and go to work tomorrow, but they're staying up. Like, fuck that. If they did that, I want to meet that motherfucker. That's the mentality we had, because we were those kids for Maiden. So then when we're sitting, when we get to meet Harris, or I sleep over at Harris's house, it's like, oh shit, I'm sleeping over Steve Harris's house. You know, so
that's amazing. It's a beautiful thing, man. Let's dig into why I wanted you on the sneaker addict portion. This is going to be on different platforms too. We have different channels, but you know, one thing I gotta say, and you know, I'm sure you've noticed it, especially in the past few years. You've been getting a lot of praise for your sneakers on the Instagram and whatnot. Have you noticed that? I think you have.
I've seen some.
Yeah, like shout out to Retro Fire on Instagram. He's always posting pictures of you, and we'll show you like some of them. Like this, look at this, man. You know, this is when sneakers were just purchased because you're a fan of Jordan and you just wanted to wear a new pair of shoes. And the culture has changed so much that you see it now. It's like an actual culture, sneakers. But back during these days, it was just, you know, cool shoes to wear and rock out in. And you possibly, because I've spoken to a lot of people that are like me, tastemakers, people that just are into the history of things. You are, if not number one, you're probably number two as far as the amount of amazing sneakers you wore throughout all the years. I mean, it's like you're probably number one. The only person I think that I know can compete with you is one person, and that's your buddy, as you said earlier, Dave Mustaine, who was a beast also when it comes down to the sneakers. I mean, like, what was the deal? Like, why were you wearing the shoes? Was it necessarily just because you were a Michael Jordan fan? Did you think the shoes were cool looking? Was it a combination platter? What was your whole deal with the sneakers always having hot sneakers?
At first, we realized if you look at some of the earliest pictures of Anthrax, obviously we were huge Judas Priest fans, and we had a singer, Neil Turbin, who thought he was Rob Halford. So he was trying to be getting us the look. I mean, I'm talking about the inception of when, like, I joined the band. Mm-hmm. So he took us down to the village and get fucking leather clothes and all that kind of shit. And we put the shit on. We played one show, and we had this custom leather made in the village and all this fucking. It was a weird experience for me. Me and Scott were like, "What the fuck? This is a fucking a little bit far, bro." So we played along just for a little, and we played the first show, and the whole show, I just remember me and Scott would just look at each other like scratching our balls. We're like, "Fuck this, bro. I need to be comfortable, man." And he was like, "Yeah, it's so fucking hot, you know." Like, that's where the shorts came from for Scott. One night he was like, "Dude, I can't take this anymore. I'm fucking wearing shorts. If Angus wears shorts, fuck it, I'm wearing shorts." And I'm like, "Yeah, man, I'm just wearing fucking the shit I wear normally, dude. That's the shit we're wearing, bro. That's who we are. Yeah. Why are we dressing up to be somebody we're not? That's not what our music is. So we need to represent really who we are. Like, basically, like, fuck what the other guy in the band says. It's our band. Like, there's two of us, there's one of him, and we went for comfort." And those are just the sneakers that I was wearing normally. I started just wearing an exact set of my clothes off stage and sneakers to wear on stage, and that's where it all comes from.
Yeah, man, like this right here, classic Jordan 4s, man.
Yeah.
These were classic, man. You look bad. Look at that. Look at those images, man. Just tearing it up with the Ninja Turtle guitar. We got to talk about that a little later too.
I remember the first fucking sneaks they sent me before they were on the market. They had with the see-through air in there, and I was like, "Holy shit! Seriously?" Like.
It was probably like maybe this one, maybe, or the white pair. Probably
that one. I can't remember. It was the first. It was like their prototype. They were sending us drawings or some shit, and we were like, "You can't do that, dude. That stuff will like it'll melt, it'll break." They're like, "No, wait," because Scott was jumping all around. He was jumping really high.
Oh yeah,
you could get hurt. Those things are like shock absorbers for us. So like we were hooked like a crack addict without a pipe, We were like, "Wow, this is fucking killer." So we were always on the hunt for cool sneaks. But using them live in those days, you destroy everything. It's so hot on stage. The places we played, over 100 degrees on stage is normal, under the lights and all that. So shit gets destroyed. But not the Jordans. As soon as you got Jordans, it was like, wow, this is like another level, man. Like 10 levels. Like what? How is this possible? So it wasn't like that dude just said, all right, I want to make a whole shitload of money. Like just slap my name on something. He was there. Like he had a vision, a big time vision, to work with them, because it was like from regular like Converse sneaks to like holy shit. There was no in between. It was like wow, and you know, and they noticed us, and then they started saying like later on, how can we help you? You know?
Yeah, that's what I noticed. Speaking to other people, like some of the guys from Megadeth, the same thing. Like where like the Peace Sells video, they were saying like the first shot, that was when Jordan was hooking them up. So they made sure to show like this shoe, which you actually own. Dave Ellison was telling me like that first shot I had, like we made sure to show these. And
oh, that was a fucking killer.
Yeah, you have a sick ass photo. Let me find it. This one, yeah, I love this one.
Yeah, those are fucking those are so fucking killer, dude.
Yeah, because
I love those.
And these come out next year again. Just so you know, if you want to get them. Yeah, next year they're going to be bringing them back. Jordan Brand, if you're watching, get him a pair. Get him a pair early so he can start.
You know, what I would like to transcend to people, these fucking sneakerheads, is we want to try to sell sneakers, to sell shit. They didn't pay us to fucking wear nothing. We only did what we did because if we were going to wear something, we knew people would see it. We were only wearing something that talked to us personally. There was no rules in the band what to wear on stage or anything like that. That's our personality. Like if I wasn't playing music, I would have bought those in the store. So, and that would happen. We would be traveling and I would see a new pair or something that they didn't send me, you know, or previous to them helping us, you know, and I would just buy them with my own money, and that's what I wore. But after they hooked us up later on, then it was like, you know, we had road cases. There's just I'm sure there's pictures somewhere from somebody in the band or Mark Weiss or something like that. We had the road cases custom built. When you open the door, it had like our bathrobes in it and drawers, and then as you open the door, they put slots, like wood slots in the door, and then each person had all our sneaks. A whole fucking 6-7 foot door was just fucking sneaks, and we each had a case, big fucking giant fucking road case. It's just sneaks because you can't wear what you wore even 2 days ago because you're just drenched with fucking sweat. I mean, it's like you step in a pool when you come off stage. It's just
and
like
your
that.
sets were long sets. Like you guys weren't doing like an hour set. You guys were doing 2 hours, if not more, right?
Right.
I mean, it was so many.
They would get stinky. I remember they would get this white shit all over them, and then you had to clean. We'd be in the bathroom ourselves before you had people helping us. You know, scrubbing our own sneaks and shit. Just we loved our sneaks, man. It's like we couldn't survive without those. And then they helped us. And that was the coolest part when the big boxes would show up at the hotels.
I like seeing your reaction to some of these after showing that one, the Jordan 5 with the reflective tongue. Like, look at these right here. You guys are wearing Jordan 2s, you and Scott on the left, and then you have wearing the Maroon 6, and that's one of my faves. And the other guy, look, you have you have Frank and you have Charlie wearing the other 6s. It seems like 6s was really popular. This
also extremely badass comfortable.
Yeah. This was
I love
your go-to because you had I have them all, man. Like and
Mustaine wore the white ones.
Yeah. Dave was heavy. I'm telling you, like you two are the goats of sneakers back then. It's the two of you, Dave and you. And then you had these, like it was crazy, like the amount of and you even had I'm trying to see where this photo is. I think it's this one. You're even wearing other stuff too, and that's where you and Dave are on a different level than these other guys. Look what you got. You got Bo Jackson's the third photo. You're wearing.
I did the double laces on that one on the right. I remember that shit.
And that's like this type of stuff sneakerheads do. The lace swapping on those are the Barclays. Like
Barclays, But I didn't like the straps that went over. They were too snug on my foot because I'm not walking around the streets. When you play, you see, I'm in my workshop. When you play, you know, you're fucking crouched like down, you know, like that. So those straps were a little bit too tight on the front of my foot, even though I started loosening the laces and stuff. So then I said, fuck the flaps, let them fly. Yeah, those were kick ass. Well, you know, we were all like that. Like I would, like if we were touring with Dave, I would go in his dressing room and go, dude, you see these yet, bro? Like that's just the way we were, man. We were just little kids, you know.
You and Dave would talk to each other about sneakers.
Fuck yeah, bro.
Wow, that's insane.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, because Dave was heavy. Like this looks like something the kids now would do. Like, you see the stack of shoes Dave has there? Like, that's like the IG kind of posts that you'll see now. Like, you both like the other guy. A lot of the guys, they had cool sneakers, but they had like 1 or 2 pairs and they'd wear them for years. You guys had like multiples.
So after we did hook up with the companies, like we would be in a hotel and they say, Spitz, you got a box, you know, and they would send us stuff for the road crew too. But they would send, they didn't know what sizes. They would just stick in all kinds of extra stuff. And I have a very small foot. I got to take 6.5.
Okay.
And so it's the size between the first size for men's and where they're considered boys. So I could never find my size in a store. And that's how this all started of connecting with the company. It wasn't about money or no, they didn't, like I said, they didn't pay us or anything. It's me. I would go to the store and see the brand new Jordan or whatever it was that I wanted at that time. And they're like, yeah, we got size 8 and up. And I'm like, dude, I'm fucking 6.5. Maybe I could push a 7, bro. I'm fucking 5 feet tall. You know, like,
yeah,
man, we get like 1 pair of those in there and they're gone, bro. And I'm like, well, what do I do? So I had our managers start, you know, contacting them and explain to them the problem. Like, we're like, we'll pay for them. We don't give a shit. We want, you know, send us fucking 20 pair of fucking sneakers. Like these guys wearing them on stage. And then they hooked up and then they would send us this big box in a hotel. And I call up the whole road crew and everyone would come down to one room and we just start ripping. It was fucking, what a feeling, dude.
Christmas.
They would send us Jordans before they're in any stores. No one knew about it. There's no internet, so no one even knew like something was coming back then. It was just like they were like, no, we're sending you the ones that are coming out in like, you know, 3, 4, 5 months. So check them out. Let us know what you think. And we're ripping the box apart. And we're like, you know, I would get my size, luckily. And, you know, and then they would have all these other sizes, and everyone was in like a big room trying shit on. I mean, I wish we had film of that. It was fucking, what a feeling, you know? It's all free.
Exactly.
You know? It's all free. Nowadays, people would be like, how much are you paying me to wear your sneakers? You know? But that's not what it was about. It was our love for those sneakers and how can we spread that to the people that are coming to see us. You know, you should wear sneakers. They're really comfortable, man. It wasn't about promoting, you know, Jordan or anything. Those were the best fucking sneakers money could fucking buy. Comfortable.
And they still some of the best different sneakers too, to this day, man. I'm buying them. I'm buying them over and over and over again, man. This is like my 4th time they're releasing this. I'm gonna get them when they come back, just so I have a fresh pair, you know. Were you a big Michael Jordan fan, or was it more of just like the streetwear kind of style of yourself?
No, I wasn't into basketball at that time. I mean, he was so huge. Obviously he was, he's just off the charts, man, you know?
I know. Yeah.
It's just, I never got into the whole Converse flat foot thing. It was never comfort for me. I got like a high arch foot. And again, we played long, grueling sets. I'm not the guy that's flying through the air. You know, Scott was.
Yeah, he was.
I'm like, my idols are more. Or I got to play lead guitar, so I got to, I'm like the calm, normal, slower kind of chill out guy, you know. But with my crouched kind of position that I play in and all that, I tried playing in my Doc Martens, which I love Doc Martens. I can't play in those. It's just.
I mean, your feet and legs would be broken by the end of a show if you were wearing Doc Martens.
Right.
The cream of the crop, though, as far as moments and sneakers, I think you know what's next. This right here. And man, just if you could take us back, there they are right there.
Right on.
Could you take us back to this moment right here? Like, how did this all come into play and everything? Married with Children.
The Married with Children thing. We got a call that they had already written a show based around us, and we were like, "What the fuck? Like, we love that show. Like, are you kidding me?" And they were like, "Do you want to act?" And we were like, "Well, isn't that what we do every day?" You know, sure. Let's. Is there any way we can arrange it? You know, how do we do this? And we were honored. You know, really, really honored. It was an incredible life experience to see how their art worked. Yeah. So differently than the musical art world.
It's a long day on set, huh?
Well, we thought it was a TV show, but in reality, it's like Broadway. It was completely live.
Oh, it was live.
Completely live. So you show up on Monday, they would give us a script. We just walk in a room and they hand out the script. And basically then they kind of just went home. We were like, they got fucking paid, they didn't do anything. You know, this is wow. And then Tuesday they come in a room and they just start doing like a read through. And then we go back to the hotel, and then under our door we would get the script all changed. They give this lines to somebody else, they take away these lines, and they kept doing that to us. And some guys in the band were getting pissed. And then on the Wednesday, then they had a room set up with a couch and all that, like a makeshift kind of room. And then they real run through. And then when you do the show, it's completely live, and they do it twice. And that's it. If they fuck up, they fuck up. So it's Broadway.
Really?
All that's live, completely.
I did not see. I thought they piped in all the laughter on Married with Children. And this, pay attention for the younger people watching this. This was one of the, if not the biggest comedy show on TV at the time. This was at their prime. And now think about someone like me. I'm a young kid. The only reason why I was caught on Anthrax so early is because of my next door neighbor. Shout out to my next door neighbor, Paul, who was like 5-6 years older than me. He would wail on the guitar, and I thought he was the coolest dude in the world. You see someone in your neighborhood that's, playing this crazy music. So I knew about you guys way too soon, and I was like, there was no internet, so there was no like leaks. Anthrax is going to be on the next Married and Children, and da. So all of a sudden I'm watching, and I'm seeing them on like one of my favorite bands as a kid, and I'm like, and still to this day, let's correct that and make that clear. And
that ended up being their highest rated episode ever.
Dude, that episode was crazy.
I just got what else can I tell you about that story? Well, you can see a lot by who I'm hanging out with on there.
Yeah, let's put the picture up real quick.
Yeah. Let's see. There was some schism back because they had been together for a bunch of years already. That show was so big that they were all like stars, if you remember. So there was somebody on that show who wanted to split at that time, and I had lunch with Ed, who's Ed is
Ed O'Neill, correct? I'm pretty sure.
He was like pouring his heart out to me, like explaining to me like, why can't this person has to understand like this is make your money now, because your career, when the show is over, you don't know, it's a flaky industry. You don't know if you're going to get another job, like just play what you play. It's a character, and they didn't want any character cast for when the show was over, that they would never get a role unless they were a certain way. I don't want to say who the person was.
No, of course.
The cool part of the story is David Faustino, the young little kid then, he was a huge hip hop guy. So we were like, dude, after the show on Friday, it was Friday or Saturday, Metallica was playing. And we're like, we're taking you to your first metal show. And not only that, we're taking you backstage, we're taking you on stage, motherfucker. So he doesn't even know anything in that world. Completely like a horse with blinders on. And we got in his car, and he's playing us his hip hop with his giant, pumping stereo in the car. He had this BMW, if I remember, with these, like, he had big giant subwoofers put in, and we're like, oh, cool, dude. We got out to the Coliseum. We took him backstage. Slash was backstage, and so I was hanging with Slash for a while. He was pretty tipsy. Joe Perry was there.
Right.
So I brought him into that. Like, he got a full dose that night, and he ended up like loving heavy metal. He had the best night ever, the best fucking night, and that's what I love. Just sharing some of our love onto someone who might have thought it was something else. And so
yeah,
a lot of good came from that show.
That's amazing, man. And speaking of hip hop, let's go here real quick with Public Enemy, man, because this was a big moment. And just if you could share some of your like any thoughts of this collaboration, if you would.
Again, we were always trying to just do what we loved, and it didn't matter if the record company or anyone told us like you can't do that, because we already did all the things that they already told us we couldn't do that, and we already proved through the underground way, which is kind of like, if you think about the Grateful Dead, how they did it, they fought against the tide, right? And they were never on the radio ever. They just had a cult following of that was it, right? So that's kind of like what we were, that kind of music. And then it's like whoever we want to play with. Why is there all these laws? Like, before us, there was just heavy metal. That was the name, everybody. There wasn't, when you went to the record store, it wasn't sectioned off into 50 different fucking categories. There was jazz, there was fucking, rock, metal. That's it. So there was like these laws. So we broke that law by, coming out with a new sound that was taking punk, which is fast, played faster with aggression by people who weren't very schooled on their instruments. It was more about angst and power and what they felt inside was coming out through their art. And that's beautiful. But that fused with someone like me who is trained, from jazz musicians, and I write music and all that kind of stuff. And you got guys in a band that some are this way and some are that way, and then you put it together, and you have this, tight, aggressive music that's actually intricate and almost impossible to play, theory-wise. So we already broke down that barrier. So what's wrong with, fusing two kinds of music together? What's going to happen? And in the beginning, I remember we were both really huge at that time. We could play some pretty serious fucking places on our own. We didn't need each other, right, to play, to sell out. So, I'm like Madison Square Garden, like that kind of place. And I remember we were doing that, and they said, this is after the video and that we did do the collaboration. We said we wanted to play together. Let's do something. And the insurance companies wouldn't insure us. They said, you get those two audiences together, they're going to fucking burn down the garden, bro. There's no one will insure you. And so I'm going post that picture. That picture was from the making of the video. So that's after that. So we had a struggle. We always struggled, which takes us back to poking, be a pest, right? Yeah. So we said, well, you're not going to fucking stop us. Book us in a fucking bar, and we'll prove that our fans will get along with their fans. I don't care what size it is. Scale it down, whatever. We insure ourselves. We'll take the risk. Fuck it. And that's how we proved that, like, it'll work. It won't burn the place down. We didn't know they wouldn't burn the place down. Chuck D didn't know. He was like, I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. We didn't really know, but those were pioneering days. That picture, if I remember, is from the video shoot back behind the building when we were shooting Bring the Noise video. I think.
That was such a huge collab, and once again, no internet then. So as a fan, it just came out of left field, and I'm like, whoa. And I remember that that's a remake of an older song they did where they shouted out Anthrax on it. And then and I think because of some of you guys were into hip hop, I know Charlie loves hip hop too. So like you guys did the I'm the Man, which was always fun. That EP.
Just so we can post date this, I don't know how many, maybe 1982. Me and Scott, I remember driving out to this guy's house in his garage. He claimed he had a recording studio. and it was a hip hop band called Utfo.
Okay, I've heard of them.
And I played on that. I played lead, and Scott played on that too. That's the first actual collision of any kind of rock music and hip hop. Before, that's way before Aerosmith or
you gotta look that up.
Or the Public Enemy thing. So we always just wanted to jam with our friends. Doesn't matter. I don't care. You know, if we like jazz, you know, we would have jazz. We would have jammed with that dude. Like it's just we're just friends. We love what they're doing, and they love what we're doing. And when someone says it out loud and goes, "Hey Chuck, you know, like, what do you think about like doing this together?" And that's what lights the fuse, and that other artist, and they go, "Fuck, I never thought about that, but that'd be pretty cool. Let's do it." And then you just find a way back then, and you do. Now everyone plays with everyone, right?
Yeah.
Because of that, we birthed bands like Korn and everything that came after. You know.
Yeah, because there's a lot of music now.
That the I'm the Man thing, we broke down that barrier way before this. You know, so we weren't looking to birth new sounds for other people to take this thing that we did and then, you know, run with the ball. We just like our sneakers, just doing what felt comfortable to us. We didn't give a fuck what anybody else said. And if they tried to stop us, like record companies did, like when we tried to put out I'm the Man, they said career suicide. They said we're not putting this out. We just found a way to force them to you know, stick it down their fucking neck, put it out. Yeah. And then, you know, they put it out. Then it goes to like platinum and shit back then. And then they're like, "We knew it would go platinum, bro. We were just like, you know, fucking, we just want to be careful, do it right."
Yeah. They gave you more freedom after that, I bet.
No, actually, us and Metallica when we first started, we built our own underground following, right? Mm-hmm. They didn't sign us. JohnnyZ did not get. JohnnyZ went for almost 2 years. He went to every record label. This is the beginning. We're going backwards to the beginning of the flea market store. So he had an Anthrax cassette and he had a Metallica cassette, and he brought them to every record company he could. And I remember him telling me once, he goes, "Dad," he goes, don't take this too hard. He goes, he said it sounds like when you flush the toilet. Like that's what this music sounds like, and he doesn't see any way to sell it. So we're already selling it, you know. So let's get you and Metallica in a van, you know. And JohnnyZ second mortgaged his house. He believed in this music so much. If that wasn't for JohnnyZ, I don't know if any of us would be.
A true pioneer.
Fucking, he's the man. Mm-hmm. He second mortgaged his house. He was the guy. Like, "Oh, all right, I'll find some bars, you know. You guys go out, you know." And he put us in bands. And same thing in Europe, same kind of thing. That's all JohnnyZ. Mm-hmm. So, you know, that we just did stuff for ourselves that was pleasing for ourselves, and we just figured if we get that cult following ourselves, if they don't want to sign us, fuck them. If we get enough of a following, then we could get a record deal. And again, for this generation, back then, there was no recording software and a laptop. I think laptops were like just coming out, basically. You know? So you needed millions of dollars to go in a recording studio because all they have is those big old mixer boards with a gazillion buttons you see in those old pictures, and guys who went to school to learn how to run all those millions of fucking buttons. And then you had to hire the producer who knew to listen to your music and tweak it so it would be palpable for the radio. So we were none of that. We just wanted the guy who could fuck with the buttons.
Yeah.
The producers that you see on all our albums back then didn't know what to do with this sound. It was new. So we just needed the producer there to like guide the guy with the buttons. But you needed that money from the record companies back then to go and pay for that studio, which was, if I remember, I mean, the basic studio was $2,500 a day, and then you had to pay those guys, right? So try to make an album or even an EP back then was, you know, you needed $500,000 to make an EP. So it had to come from somewhere, and that's what the record companies did. They heard a sound, believed in you, and not just for that one project, they would invest in you and invest in other bands and see which one would pop. So it's gambling for them. but gambling with a lot of money. Put you in the studio and see where you can go. They wouldn't do that for us or Metallica with the cassettes. So we just figured out a way to make a couple songs, go out and play, get a cult following, and build all that up to the point where it got so big. Then they were like, okay, but we don't know what to do with you still, and you're doing a good job. You got you're printing your own T-shirts, right? We came up with our own money. We didn't want their designs on our album covers. We didn't want their artists. We did it all, not just our band, the Big Four. We all operated the same way. So whatever you bought from us, whatever we did from our sneakers, whatever it was really a part of us. So when On the Man came out, and that's where I'm going to end this, what the story was for, when they said we're not putting this out, we had clauses in our contract because they didn't know what to do that gave us that free reign. And so we're executing that right. Put the motherfucking shit out, motherfucker.
Yeah. It was a fun EP because you had Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath, that cover on there, which I enjoyed when I was younger. I was like, oh shit, they're doing it, because I liked how you guys did covers. Like even on the first album, you did I'm 18, Alice Cooper. I always enjoyed when you guys did covers. You know,
we try to twist them up. You know, do them our own way. You know, make them heavier. What we thought was you know, more fucking hit you in the chest, you know?
No, definitely. So one thing that always stood out to me was the Ninja Turtles on the guitar, because I'm young and I see that. Were you a fan of Ninja Turtles? Like, on what kind of level were you?
I grew up with comic books in my house everywhere, and that's. Yeah, it's when Ninja Turtles were evil, you know, and then they were destroying and hacking and maiming and shit. It wasn't the Pussy Turtles.
Yeah, when they became
that's where the Turtles came from.
Yeah.
And previous to that, you know, we were also inventing guitars besides the sound of the amplifiers that we talked about earlier. The guitar companies didn't have guitars that were appropriate for the sound that we all had in our head. We needed to play faster, more accurate stuff, especially me as a lead player, Mustaine, you know. So we were also working closely with like I was working with Grover Jackson of Jackson Guitars. You know, it was just invented for Charvel as well. And I used to work on 48th Street in Manhattan selling guitars. That's where I was making my money. That's where I met Scott.
Scott, yeah.
So I was selling guitars in the street's biggest vintage guitar store. So I was, you know, touching 58, 59 Les Pauls all day long. So I knew what good guitars were, what they could be. So I talked to Grover one time. I had some Marvel comics down in my basement, you know, that were put away. My brother had gone off to college and he had his whole collection up over to like the washer and dryer, like on a shelf. So I pulled that. It was like issued like 1 or 2. It probably worth a lot of fucking money now. And I sent it in the mail to Grover and said, like, can you paint shit on guitars? Because no one had done that yet. No, they put stripes on guitars. That was it. Yeah. And he I think he called me or wrote me back. Again, no internet, right? No such thing as email. It's like snail mail. And, you know, like, he was like, at first he was like, no, we just fucking make guitars, bro. You know, like, and I'm like, fucking, but I want, like, you know, the Silver Surfer and Thor and the Hulk on my guitar, bro. I said, can you just cut them out and glue them on there and fucking clear coat over it or something? He's like, yeah, we could do that. He goes, and he wrote me back. I think we were talking on the phone. He said, you know, let me call you back. And he called me back and he said, I found some Mexican van painters. If you remember back like in the 70s, those vans that had like a little opera window all the way in the back, that little small window, but he did murals all over the van. He got one of those guys and he painted my guitar. And that's how it all started. So then each tour I would order 3 new guitars. So that's where the turtles. So I sent him some turtles. I'm like, can you do this? Like, and I would lay it all out the way it should be. So I would either cut them up myself and, you know, like on the old oak tag kind of stuff, put an envelope and send it to him with all directions. Like, put this guy going this way and this going like this, so nobody fucked up. Because I know he wasn't doing it. He would hand it off to somebody. They didn't have paint departments like they do nowadays. We were again breaking all those barriers And all those cool guitars came from just my experience working on 48th Street in selling some of the world's, finest guitars that are now vintage guitars. But my know-how there. And that's, again, how Anthrax was born, how I met Scott. That store I worked in, called Stuyvesant Music, was across the street from the famous Manny's. And we had the best repairman on the street. So if anyone wants to know what 48th Street is, it was called Music Row. It was one block in Manhattan, two sides of the street. And that's where all the music stores were, just one after another. And people flew in from all over the world to buy the good shit. That's the only place in the whole world where the good shit was. From any continent there was, you had to come there and get the top line, the good shit. So I was working on that street, and we had, the street's best repairman. And Scott had dropped off one of his Leopard guitar. I think it was a Charvel. And the repairman, talked to him. He knew Scott for a while, and he said, Spitz, he goes, I know you just left your band, and you always have like 10, 12 Marshall cabinets, and you got to lend them to the other guy because, he got no fucking money, and you fucking work your ass off for your shit. And this guy's the same way, bro. If you guys just put all your shit together, it would be like a fucking wall, man. It would be the coolest show ever because you got to meet this guy. And I'm like, all right, well, when he comes in to pick up his guitar or something, call me out, man. I'd love to meet him. And then Scott walked in to pick up his guitar, and we met, and we met, we talked, and he was like, "Oh man, we just got some guy." He goes, "But I'm not sure. He might last 2 weeks. I'm not sure. If we throw him out, I'll come back." And like 2 weeks later, he came back. He goes, "Want to try out?" And
that was history. Anthrax. That's wild, man. And it's cool that you guys are old New Yorkers. Being someone from New York, it was just super cool to see you guys repping New York heavy. And I see Danny's playing with them again live. Is there any chance in the future we may see you pop up at a show, you think, or not at the moment? I know you're very busy, and I want to talk about the watches before you go. I appreciate the time. You gave me a lot of time.
No, it's actually cool, that we talk about the sneaks and stuff. And
no, it's important that that's documented because
you guys the sneakerheads. I mean, it's hard to imagine that era back then. So that's why I keep trying to show people. There was no awareness. The awareness was somebody had to be wearing them, or something like that. So it's really cool that these stories do come out, and people know that I wasn't wearing all those sneakers. Mustaine wasn't wearing all those sneakers for money.
Yeah.
We fucking loved them. Like,
this was just
a reason.
Yeah.
It was part of our persona eventually, but it was the whole comfort factor. It continues on, right? So, what did you ask me?
When it comes down to, like, I see that Danny, who was an original member with you guys. Oh, okay. He's back on tour. Could you ever see yourself playing anytime in the near future, even like a one-off if they're near your city or something like that?
We did a reunion, which ended up being 3 years long. I agreed to do that, and I think it was supposed to be about a year, and it was so well received. We kind of kept going, and I enjoyed that very much. I missed the guys. We grew up together, right?
Yeah.
And a fun fact that no one has talked about is we are the only band of the Big Four that everyone is still alive that made the greatest music.
Wow, you're right.
So everyone else somebody has passed away. So right now I have my new facility here in Delray Beach. Everybody knows probably, this crazy, master watchmaker dude. So I'm fucking around with crazy ass expensive watches and, enjoying myself. So you never know what happens in the future.
Okay, I like that. You keep it a mystery. Just let me know if you do show up so I can go to that show. I won't tell anyone. So let's talk about these watches. So you become a family man. You want to spend more time, if I'm not mistaken, and that's part of the big reason with the departure of Anthrax. Am I right or am I wrong?
Yeah. in the late '90s, mid '90s, I was the only one in the band that had been married for a long time, and I was already on to my second child. And the other guys, they weren't. I don't even think anyone was even engaged or anything like that. So I was years and years ahead of them, and it was very difficult for me to say goodbye to my children for those lengths of time that we toured, which was forever. So I had been in vans and buses starting when I was 13, right? Before Overkill, right? I was playing all through Rockland and Jersey, opening up for Twisted Sister and all that kind of stuff, So I kind of had enough. And there was no animosity or anything. It just I lost. If everything I have is not in something, I need to take a break and clear my head, and then I headed down this path. Immediately go to school for watchmaking, and then ended up in Switzerland for many years, going to school over there, and then heading up some really big watch companies.
And you going to that school, if I'm not mistaken, they only accepted 6 people from around the world every 3 years. Am I correct on that?
Yeah.
That's impressive.
So you have to do like a 4-year school before that, and then 5 years at minimum of apprenticeship. And it's the only school that they will teach in English in Switzerland. And it's mainly for complicated mechanical timepieces. So you have to be chosen. It's by scholarship. It's kind of like the Harvard kind of school of watchmaking kind of thing. They got to see your track record and that your passion is in it, just like music. You have to be at the top of your game. So I did the 4-year school here, which I graduated really fast. And they kind of called Switzerland and said, like, we got this freakazoid here. I think you should like let him in a little early, So I was on a mission, just like music. I was just on a mission to get where I wanted to go. I really wanted to work on the world's most complicated mechanical timepieces, not just fix a Rolex, but this stuff that goes, way, way, way beyond. Rolex is what we call a tool watch. It's really it was built to be an everyday watch way back when. It was built to show off. It was built like you could fucking kick its ass every day, right? You couldn't beat it to that. So I wanted to work on the crazy shit. So I made my way to Switzerland, and I was accepted to that school where they accept one person from each country every 3 years, 6 people. And then from there, I stayed in Switzerland and worked there for many years. I ended up heading up a company called Chopard, which is one of the biggest watch companies and jewelers in the world, and heading up all their watchmakers and training all their watchmakers and running all their facilities for North and South America. I have my own facilities, and I build a lot of what's called ghost building for other companies, very big companies. Kind of like ghost songwriting. Like pop artists have people write their songs, but you never know because they have to sign an NDA agreement, and you think that the little blonde girl wrote all her music, but and I ought to use that term loosely. It could be a brunette, it could be a redhead, it could be a boy, it could be whatever. But they hire, because those people, that's what they do. They're songwriters, they're hit writers for pop, right? So we have the same thing in this industry. When a large company with a major name wants to make only 5 pieces or 8 pieces of something crazy, they can't stop their assembly lines for their other watches and put teams and teams for years to develop a crazy mechanical timepiece that does something spectacular, let's say. Keep accurate phases of the moon for 3 million years or mechanically or something like that. So they pick the best in the industry at each little mechanical part of the inside of that watch. One guy might be good at making the wheels. One guy might be good at making the main plates that hold the rubies. Another guy may be good at this or that. And they put a team together. And so I did that for numerous years for big companies. With my
so you guys were like the dream team of watches.
That's kind of what it is. You brainstorm together. It's a band. So there's a lot of similarities in what I do now to music. And most of my friends, where we live, is like the top of watchmaking. It's like the same as Anthrax. We were the most proficient players we could be, right? If you put me Dave Mustaine together in a room, which has happened. We recorded together numerous times. You know, it's like an explosion, right? We're trading. We're like, you know, who's going to blow each other away? Like, what can we create that's really cool? It's the same in watchmaking when we all get together and do stuff like that. So I did that, and because I've been doing this a very long time, I'm third generation. So I grew up in my grandfather's store in the Catskill Mountains, inside of like these crazy watches like Patek Philippe, if anybody knows the names. They're above Rolex and stuff like that when I was a really young person. So I've been inside these old watches. So I have this know-how that most of the watchmakers of that era are now dead. And I've seen all those watches, and so I know their idiosyncrasies, and I've seen them many times. So I know like how long parts will last if they're made a certain way. So I was hired many times as what's called a longevity tester. So to know if someone's coming out with a brand new timepiece, how long will these parts last? You know, will they last 50 years, 200 years, 300 years, 500 years? So I can tell them by looking at certain mechanisms, because they're similar to older watches, let's say. You know, like this is made like shit, bro. Like the wheels are too skinny, bro. Like, you know, if you want them to come back and make money off the consumer, you know, then you're good to go, bro. If you're like that, if you're an asshole, right? But if you want, what I have to say is you need to make them thicker and better, or whatever. You know, do this or do that, so they'll last for that. You know.
So you do like consultant work for these companies. I just
and now my new place, I just moved. My new place is in Delray Beach, Florida, and I solely work on vintage watches. Like a dude who's working on just old Porsches. You know, he specializes in that. So there's no more parts for these watches anywhere, pretty much, to be found. So you have to make what's broken. And
wow!
Very valuable, cool pieces. And a lot of the times when I say valuable, because people think of in metal like what I do, they're like, oh, it's just fucking fancy rich people watches. The reason I love doing what I do is because of the love. It's the same as music. A lot of these watches were this person's grandfather's or father or great grandfather, that they remember that watch. They remember their dad, who's not here anymore. Maybe he passed away, or the grandfather. They loved him so much, and they remember him all the time with that Vacheron Constantine watch. Perhaps he did well in life and treated himself to a nice watch one day, right? And they remember that, but they can't find anyone to fix it, so it's just been in the bank vault, you know. And then they come to me, and you know, I do fix it, and I give it to them, and you know, it's old mechanical watches. The hand is moving like old school, you know. Like, and it flips them out. Like the memories start coming back as soon as I hand it to them. And a lot of the time they're crying. They're like,
wow, I can only imagine.
It's a really emotional thing, like, right?
Yeah.
Music can make you cry if you're in a shitty mood, man. You gotta let it all out, right? That's why people used to come to our shows and let it all out. You know? Right? So there's a lot of similarities in what I do, and I'd like, you know, people to know it's not just like I'm fucking changing batteries and fixing cuckoo clocks and shit. You know, it's a real. There's a lot of similarities to music, and it is very emotional, and that's what I love. It's really cool.
No, I mean it's an art and a craft in itself. Because I watched a video of you working on one. There's so many pieces in these watches. It's you're like the mad scientist in there. You ever I know this is funny, but have you ever worked on the watch and played time? Taking it in my head. Have you?
Well, I got, you know, this has got the time, so it's always with me.
Let me put that on the big screen real quick.
That's a
oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Yep. That's incredible. I never noticed that tattoo, man.
It's always with me as I'm fucking working, bro.
Yeah, that's amazing, man. I appreciate your time, man. I don't want to keep you like too long. One thing I want to talk about real quick, because this is important. You and Dave did something a little bit a little bit ago, and that was you did a collab raising awareness to autism, correct?
Correct.
Can you talk a little bit about that?
Well, I have two identical twins with autism, and there wasn't the awareness that there is now back then. There was none, right? Nobody knew what to do. Nobody knew that there was chemicals in the plastic when you put it in the microwave. It was leaching chemicals and all the shit that everyone knows now. That's mainly been corrected. And also when you get your shots when you're young, at 12 months or so. Back then, they were just injecting you with 67 vaccines at once, pummeling your system. When I grew up, there was 8 vaccines in the vaccine, just so everybody knows. That's, you had mumps, rubella, like basic shit. Now they, to make money, they just pump you up, bro. Who knows? Yeah. Nobody knows what's in that cocktail, So there wasn't that awareness. And David come to my house one time, and it was his first time seeing what real autistic children acted like and did. And he just turned to me and said, I can't play anymore. I'm stopping Megadeth, and we need to do something, Dan. And I really would like people to know the other side of Dave. Not many people talk about it because he has this I'm going to cut your head off persona. But there are other people have come out and said the beautiful things about Dave, besides me, I think. I don't remember who, but he's a beautiful human being who really cares about a lot of people. But what he does and his caring is silent. Who he blesses monetarily or by buying something to help them or their family, it's all silent. Nobody knows about it. He's a fucking amazing dude. And he just stopped Megadeth. They were, I don't know if they were touring. I can't remember if they were touring or if they were writing indefinitely. He called everyone and just said, me and Dan are going to do something. I have to. And I went out to his house in San Diego, and we started writing. And he was going to sing, and it was going to be our own band as well. And we wrote together, and he sang. I think he sang the whole album, if I remember. And then in the end, his record company didn't want him to do anything else. So then we got another singer. But we released the first song for the autism community. We did the first video for the autism community, and we co-wrote all the songs together in the end.
Oh, so the music
we did the best we could. We just did the best we could to try to help the autism community and children. And we really enjoyed playing with each other. That was the best part. It was the first time we were ever together in the studio, like not just for like 2 minutes. It's like I'm living at his house. I lived at his house. We hung out all day long, every day. It was it's like me and him, driving to the studio and and just hanging out and family dinners all together. And so embracing each other and the love we have for each other. That started at the music building, the story we told earlier, and to see where we end up here, at that stage in our life. And it was really cool, man. I remember I was in his studio one day, and I'm just fucking blazing, warming up something, and it's coming through the speakers in the studio. And his daughter walked in, and she was just like she goes, "You play just like my dad." like it was like, okay, like how do I explain to her like we're the same? This is just how we play.
You guys are from the same cloth.
Yeah. We don't try to play. It's just we're not faking it. It's just this is if I plug in and just play anything, this is we're cut from the same cloth, right?
Yeah. And that's so cool, just hearing like the timeline, like from even just talking about shoes when you would see him on tour and everything. I love it. Yeah, definitely. You two guys some of the best, if not the best, not only sneakerheads but lead guitarists. Incredible, man! Incredible souls. What is your favorite Anthrax album? I gotta ask you that.
You know, Among the Living was just an incredible experience time, and we were like in an era of Anthrax that was perfect. We weren't super huge. We were still clawing to get huge and break down a lot of walls to get into arenas and play to spread the disease of the music to more people. We were just starting to to bump up all of us, not just our band. So we had that still clawing at the world, angst in us. So that's why the album sounds so fucking heavy and angry. It is who we were at that time. So your art always portrays who you are at that time, be it music or if you're a painter or whatever kind of art, or if you're making watches from scratch, which is what I also do. It's that period in your life, right? So that was the period in our life where we just had a vision, and nobody was going to, again, change that vision. We hired Eddie Kramer, who did every Led Zeppelin album. He's him and Jimmy Page are the sound of Led Zeppelin, And I'm sitting here, I'm hearing all these Jimmy Page stories and Led Zeppelin stories. I'm a huge Zepp fan. And I actually played through Jimmy Page's equipment on that album.
Really?
Yeah, he scared the shit out of me. It was in Electric Ladyland. It's how life can go full circle. So be careful who you diss along your life. On that same Music Row Street in Manhattan, where I was a little kid just trying to make money to buy another guitar, or meet someone. That's how you met someone back then. You couldn't meet on the internet. You had to meet them fucking in their fucking face, right? You had to go out to clubs, work in Manhattan on 48th Street. I would drive in from Rockland County. I could have got a job up by my house, but I went there to see who I could meet. That's where all the musicians were coming in from all over the world. So on that same street, there's this little door that there's no plaque, there's no nothing. That's Electric Ladyland, a famous Jimi Hendrix studio. On that street. So I ended up in that studio recording Among the Living with Eddie Kramer, and that's where he recorded Hendrix, in the same room that we recorded that. So he had to plug me in to do my leads on top of this big Focusrite console. It's Neve consoles are the ones that sound the greatest. This was a creation of Neve, a new company he started called Focusrite. It's crazy ass. I mean, the fucking thing was like a block long, man. Like the chairs were on like rails to do like to get to the other side and shit. It was fucking crazy. And sitting on the console, he had this like a wooden road case with like special tube gear in there, and they were called, some of them were called Pultec equalizers if you're recording dudes. So he plugged me in there. He goes, "Oh, this is the sound you want, bro." I explained to him my sound, what I wanted. He's like, "Just go in this first, and I can tweak it while we're standing in the studio, and your amps are out there. We can both tweak away and hear, and get dialed in a little tighter and stuff." And I'm jamming, and I was recording. And he goes, "You know who shit that is?" He goes, "That's from Zepp 2, bro. That's Jimmy Page's. We hopped it up. We changed this resistor and that." He goes, "That's what he used on Zepp 2." Was I think it was Zepp 2. Zepp 2 of the Zoso albums, Zepp 4. Can't remember. And I stopped. I go, "Dude, don't fuck. What the fuck? I can't play now. Why the fuck did you tell me that? It's fucking Jimmy Page. It's like his aura is in the tubes and shit." I'm like, "Did you change the tubes? You can't fucking do that." So those are the cool stories that are like behind the scenes that I wish everyone could know, because those stories out there. So we hired Eddie to do that album. We were like, okay, if he could do Zepp, and I know he had a deal with Page keeping shit raw, that raw Zeppelin sound, he'd be perfect because we're raw. We don't want someone to spit and polish. We just play live in the studio. That's it. We're proficient players. Everyone we've ever worked with producer-wise, we're like, holy fuck. It's like one take. Okay. Well, then we double the guitars, triple the guitars, quadruple the guitars. We're like, we don't fuck around. nobody's doing drugs and there's nothing like that. They always were like, holy shit, like we've never seen this before. Everyone's always on heroin on the fucking couch, like, and we don't fuck around. Yeah. So that's the mood we were in, and that's what came out. It's just an incredible album. So I have a favorite eras, and then I have a favorite song, of course.
So what's that?
What's that?
What's your favorite songs, or some of your favorite songs? I would like to know some of your favorite songs, not only just in general, but that you actually like solo wise. What are some of your solos that you're really proud of that you just like love so much to this day?
The song "Only" with Bush is I think that pretty much puts everything I am into one song. Like let's slow this shit down and make it grind. Give it some of this. Whoa. Yeah. Whoa. And then when it comes to the soul, let me tell you my story. I want you to sing along with me. So I was able to slow the band down at that point in our career, which I always asked for as a lead player. You'll notice previous to that, on every album and every song, the song could be a million miles an hour punk style. But when it gets to the lead break, if everyone ever wondered where the mosh came from and then it slows down and all that, that's so I can play lead, because if it was so fast, there's no really guitar key to the song. It's not in the key of A or the key of F sharp or the key of something, because we don't create the rhythm parts of our music to coincide with any kind of music theory. It's based on punk music. Yeah. Punk music, they didn't go to theory school. I did. So when it would get to the lead break, the rhythm parts would have what we call a varying key. So the music moves so fast. In the blues, you can go with the flow. It's na 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 na, and then as the song goes up, say higher. Na 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 na. But if it's you can't. There is no key to the song. So you know what? When it comes to the lead break, let's slow it down. And that's the whole mosh thing. And then I can tell my fucking story and all the fucking songs. And I would create I don't really call it lead guitar work. It's a song within a song. I would spend weeks, if not months, coming up with each tapestry for each song.
Yeah, I love your solo.
Me and Scott agreed very, very early on when we started the band. He was a huge Malcolm from AC/DC.
I'm sorry, can you start that over? Because I got cut off. There's a little audio issue on my end.
Well, in the very early days of Anthrax, when we were trying to find the sound or what we were doing, me and Scott got together, and Scott was a huge AC/DC fan. And he just wanted to play rhythm guitar and be the best in the world, like Malcolm was. And we all said, yeah, like he is. No one really realized he stands back by Sam in those days, and the focus was always on Angus, running around in shorts, being a schoolboy, going crazy, blasting leads. But meanwhile, Malcolm is the backbone of everything. If you look and we saw, he's the writer. Like, it's fucking him. He's fucking solid. He's fucking solid. So I said, when me and Scott said, if you just practice all the time to be the greatest rhythm player, and I devote all my time to being the lead player, and we put that together, we're untouchable. But if we try to both do everything, it's going to be a fucking mess, Yeah. So that's what we did. So, and it worked wonderfully. It gave me my time to really, when it's time to record, I didn't have to really think about rhythms. We wrote the stuff. It is what it is. We've already pre-recorded it. We know the rhythms to play when we get to the studio, right? So Scott can practice that to get that as tight as possible, so we could spend the least amount of money in the studio and get in and out fast, be proficient. When it's time for me to come in and do all the leads or whatever I got to do, and we're all there all the time. Me and Scott were always in the studio. If the other guys went home after after Charlie did drums, he would usually just go home. Me and Scott would be stuck up in Ithaca, New York for a year, so I could just concentrate on doing what I do best, and he can concentrate on what he would do best.
Yeah, you have a great style where you have such a groove, and there's always feel with your solo, and it's not always necessarily fast. At times you are shredding like a motherfucker, but there's just such a perfect vibe to it. The way you come in smooth a lot of the times, then you'll go crazy for a sec, and then it'll kind of just groove back into the riff at times, which I always loved about your solos.
Yeah. Just try to create something where it is me, and again, it doesn't sound like anybody else. That's what makes a band, right? I know they continue making music without me, but in the old days when I grew up, when a band broke up, when one guy passed away or he just split, that band was over. Yeah, the sound was gone. It wasn't like it is now, where people just get anybody else and then they continue on. The sound is gone because they actually did record live in the studio. There was no Pro Tools to fix everything and slice and dice and all that shit. Like each person, their humanness was embedded on the tape, and that was it. You know, like when John Bonham of Led Zeppelin died, like right, the band they can continue, but the band is over. It will never sound the same ever in the history of the world. And I do view Anthrax the same way. When the five of us get in a room, it's a sound. It doesn't matter who or what contributes this, that. Everyone contributes, but it makes this one coherent sound. Like U2. There's many stories about U2. Like they can walk in and like just the Edge is playing alone, or just each person is playing alone and it's nothing. But all of a sudden, the next guy shows up to practice and plugs in, and the next guy gets behind the kit, and they just start like noodling around. All of a sudden, it's like, fuck, that's you too, Like it's that kind of thing.
Now you guys come together like Voltron, and it's epic, That's for sure. Man, I appreciate your time, man. I think I asked you everything I could possibly think of at the moment. I definitely appreciate your time, man. And it was really important it's really important that we're trying to highlight the sneaker culture is so big right now. It's like it's literally a culture, and at the time it wasn't a culture. These were just things we'd wear, back in the 80s and 90s, and you guys really set off that tone. But because of technology and no internet, these stories aren't shared. Like just you saying, once again, I gotta mention it, you saying that you would see Dave Mustaine and talk about sneakers. That's mind blowing. I cannot wait to put that out there. Like that's amazing.
If we had something say before he had it, do you have these yet? Did they send them to you? What? How the fuck did you get those so fucking early? What the fuck, man? It was like it.
That's incredible, man. I really appreciate your time.
It is. I guess it was the modern day equivalent of spreading the word, on Instagram or whatever, on the internet, on the web. Back then, you spread it by wearing something that represented who you were. So I didn't, And remember, we went on to be wearing Adidas as well.
Yes, because I think
you didn't even ask me you didn't even cross those fucking lines.
No, you're right. No, we can go there because now that I think about it, see, I've never seen images of you really wearing Adidas, but when I talked to Charlie, he said that you guys went to Adidas because Adidas started sending you guys stuff. Is that what happened?
Yeah. Yeah, it was the whole hip hop thing. The cover of I'm the Man is all Adidas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the track suits and everything like that.
Yeah. So
and what was like your go-to with Adidas, like the shell toes and like the classical
shell toes? I grew up wearing shell toes as a young kid for a while. I never found the comfort in them. They're cool as fuck. Everybody had them when I grew up. Even the girls wore them. They're a great girl sneaker too. I just never found. Again, it's more of a flat foot sneaker. Old school, kind of one level up from a con.
Yes.
I mean, when I was younger, we did Pro Kids. I did Pro Kids over cons. Even before then I went to Puma because the Pumas were just coming out cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember the Pumas used to stain my socks all the time, you know, in those
Oh, with
days.
the color, the suede being dyed and everything.
When they get wet in the rain, you come home and your mom's like, oh, you know, what happened? You know, like new sneaks. It's the Pumas, bro. They're breaking in, Mom. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was always a sneakerhead. I mean, you know, it's not like I just got sneakers to wear on stage. I was always a fucking sneakerhead. I mean, dying, you know. I loved Pumas for a long time. They were fucking cool as fuck back then. It was the birth of sneakers. What you guys got to understand is there was no, that's what I said, what Jordan did was not just slap his name on something. You know, you have to compare it to other industries. You know, somebody who gets famous just slaps the name on shit. They give him a whole shitload of money.
Yeah.
All we had was Pro-Ked, flat-foot sneakers. Pro-Ked, Puma has some kind of an arch, right? A little bit of an arch in there, right? A little bit more comfort. It's cool. And cons, you know, because they look cool, you know, and girls wear them, you know, that kind of stuff. When the whole like next level Jordan kind of thing came out, it wasn't like, oh, cool, these are like way better. It was like, what the fuck alien shit is this? Like, holy fuck. And you put them on, and you were like, holy fuck, dude. Like, you know, you step down and the cushion from those assholes, we were like, wow. And I remember Scott like, oh, I could fly in these, man. You know, like, yeah. So it wasn't like some company came in and made a sneak that was like a little better than a Puma, and then a little better, and then a little better. It was like massive fuck yeah. When those came out, yeah.
This is your favorite though, right? Would you say this is your favorite Jordan, the 6?
Yeah, yeah. Where's the other one it's all clear in the back? It's all black, and then the whole back of it is just
talking about this?
No, there's no slots in the side. It's all
clear on the bottom?
All clear in the back, if I remember.
I'm trying to see. I'm trying to think. I only know what you wore, like at the moment.
They don't have to be black, but if you hold them up, I can pretty much tell you.
Yeah, I know you wore these shoes the most, the 6s.
Yeah, ones on the right, those kick ass. The 6s.
Yeah, like because you wore this out on Married with Children, and then I know everyone at one point wore these. I think. Well, the 3 of you guys, Charlie, Frank, and you at one point all wore these, and then this one you wore a lot too. You wore this one a shitload of times, which was the Maroon 6, which is such a classic. And I mean, you wore so many, dude. You wore this a lot too, which is unbelievable.
Yeah. Those are badass. Yeah.
And then you also wore, even at one point, the Jordan 2. This was the earliest model that I've seen you wear, like actually, like, you know, in photographs.
Those were they still like a hard hitting sole.
Yeah,
kind of thing too. Real old school. Yeah, they try with the.
Yeah, because it went 1. This was the 1. I haven't seen you wear these. I don't know if you ever.
Those are very Puma-esque.
Yes, this is the beginning of. This is where it all started. The 1.
Yeah, high top Puma.
Yeah,
and then
they bulked it up a little bit more, and then they even bulked it up. But this was inspired by that old school high top that a lot of band members were wearing, like that high top Air Revolution, and then it went to the 4, and this is when we really started seeing you.
That was like a revelation, like like the lights of the heavens opened up and shit. Yeah. That's what I've been trying to say. It's not like you made a little better than a Puma, like you put some air in there and like it was because at first when we saw it, we were like, it's like a gimmick. Like what is this shit? You know, like it's gonna pop when it gets hot, bro. You know, like, and they're like, no. And so it was like, holy shit, man! Like, wow, dude.
And I seen your eyes when I showed you this one. This one you really loved.
Yeah.
Because I seen your reaction when I showed it. You were
That's
like,
fucking top tier, bro. I don't. Has anyone ever topped those? Because I never felt nothing better than those.
Oh, these were so good, man. And as I said, they're coming back out next year. So if you wanted to bring them back.
When you would come on our tour bus, you would find those like laying in the aisle. Like we all had them. They were just like you would be tripping over them all the fucking time because we were all wearing them. They were all over the tour bus, just laying there.
And the reflective, what's cool is because they designed this shoe because Michael Jordan, you know, he's always getting photos taken by paparazzis while he's playing. So he wanted this to light up. And you guys, you know, people always taking photos of you guys. So if you notice the photos I showed you earlier, they're always lit up. Like while you're rocking, shredding on that guitar, doing the
I wish you would tell the stories of like the making of, you know, like who he met with at Nike. And like I was talking about me and Grover Jackson with guitars and the amp dudes. I wish he would tell the story of, you know, so you guys have it too, you know, because we never got that story. We would just get the lady, remember it was a woman, if I remember, she would send us the notes like, okay, it's going to be like another 30 days. They're not going to be in the stores for like 3-4 months, but we want to send you guys the pre-release. You know, that's when we get really excited because we're on the road. You know, and like you just can't wait till a big box of something cool shows up. You know, it's like something you do. But like Sneaks was like a whole nother level. It's like, imagine like, you know, like before anyone on earth has the new Jordan, you know, and it's not like there's been Jordans out for 25 years. This is the beginning of it. And then they're sending us like, it's like getting music before it's out. It's the same thing. Yeah, I'm talking big ass motherfucking boxes show up, big motherfuckers, and they're in the hallway, and we're all just like vultures, fucking. And I was glad because it's like I know I had a 6.5, and there's no one stealing my shit. Ain't no one. There's nobody stealing a 6.5. Man.
You're good money. You're like, okay, you guys go to work. I'll just sit here and just grab my shoe when y'all are done.
Our whole road crew got free Sneaks, man. That was like they loved that.
You guys were all crushed to death. Like this one right here, which from my observation, you seem to have so many different colorways of this. I think this probably was your favorite back in the day. Like this right here is inspired by the Porsche. That's what the inspiration of over here was, because Jordan loved that Porsche, that 911 Porsche.
Oh shit, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so that's why they put that there. So that was his whole thing.
And also the bumps that protect your fucking, what's that bone called? Your shin? Not your shin. Because when you're active, you this bone that's down on your foot there. When you're very active, and you hit that bone, that hurts like a motherfucker. Yeah. So that's not like wasn't there for a gimmick either. I remember that thing saving me. Like if I you know, bump into Charlie's drum riser and stuff like that. That fucking thing saved my ass.
Yeah, because I'm sure I've seen like videos of a lot of musicians playing, and you guys got all types of stuff around you. So there's probably times where you are like even walking up the stairs. You guys always had stairs everywhere. Your stages were always you guys had some of the dopest stages too. Like the artworks were crazy with it.
We couldn't understand how other people wore like slippery shoes and stuff because first of all it gets wet up there, and then like, we would have second levels that go up, you know, behind the drums. Then you got stairs, and we had the stairs made out of like the kind of like little miniature spikes that come up. So with the Sneaks, they would grab nicely right in there, man. You're sure-footed going up and down because remember you're not in your right mind. You're thinking about the music. Our music is very fast. It's not like fun strumming happy music where and fucking la la la, and the sun is shining and she's beautiful. I mean, that's not our fucking music, right? We're like, and so we got to do that and walk downstairs and look around to make sure that there's not like flying bottles or whatever, or somebody's jumping up on stage. So the sneakers really, it really becomes a part of you. You know, if you get used to those sneaks and they're dirty or sweaty that night, and you didn't have another pair of those exact sneaks, it could fuck with you, your mindset, you know, as an artist.
Yeah, so I can only imagine.
Yeah, that's why we have to really
technical. There's a lot of changes. Like even like I love this song. I think like the most popular song, I would say, I don't know what's the most streamed Anthrax song, but it probably is Indians, I would assume. Like Indians had so many great breaks and all of that. What's your memory on that, real quick? Like in the studio with making.
I remember one of the first times that me and Scott were trying to figure out the harmony to it. Like, was it a fifth or was it a seventh? Was it a flat five? And you know, until it sounded right. You know, the opening. You know, it sounded really cool. And you know, we always goof with Joey because he, you know, he claimed he was part Indian. You know, so it was fucking just a killer fucking song, man, and it represented. You know, it wasn't like goofy or nothing. It wasn't meant to be like that at all. It was meant to be a serious song about a problem, you know, with the native Indians. So it's a kick-ass song. It has everything in it that you would need, you know. Just rolls, man.
And live, that was always an experience live, because especially when, like, with the solo part, but then the war dance break was just crazy.
See how it slowed down in the middle for me to play my shit, right?
Yeah.
There
was a movie, bro.
I remember. Didn't we do that video with Billy Milano? Was I on his shoulders, if I remember correctly? It was a pit of kids around us, if I remember correctly.
That was like a live performance vibe video. Man, I remember having that VHS, man, of that concert. That whole
VHS. How you're old if you got VHS, man?
Yeah, man. I had that shit, bro. I just found the I'm the Man CD case, like the artwork in my storage from when I was a kid. That was like one of my first cassettes. Like, for real. Like, I bought like that, Appetite for Destruction. My first album I ever owned, metal album, was a copy of Megadeth's first album. That came out way before I listened to metal, but I heard that. That was my introduction to metal. My first metal album was the first Megadeth album, Killing Is My Business and Business Is Good.
Great album. Dave is a genius. You know, I do think beyond you know, just basically wearing sneakers, I think it definitely infected other bands with a mindset of, oh, I can wear sneakers on stage too and be more comfortable. I mean, I saw a lot of people who previously weren't wearing sneakers all of a sudden. Same thing with the shorts, right? You know, like it becomes acceptable if you break down that barrier. So there is a lot of people that it definitely affected. And to this day, obviously, it's accepted. You know, you don't have to go dress up and be a poser and wear, you know, I don't know, Harley Davidson boots or whatever you want to call them, and you know, look that black metal kind of thing, like sneakers.
Trying too much. People be trying too hard.
And sneakers are like, nowadays, sneakers are like the Italian shoes of my parents' days. You know, they had custom-made Italian shoes made, and that was cool. That was their cool, right? Now sneakers are way more comfortable.
Oh yeah.
So why not wear sneakers? You know, and that's where it's gone. And it's good that it did. It really is, because they take pride in making sneakers. They're not just making them as a commodity. It's a consumable. You know, like every kid growing up just needs a pair of fucking sneakers. They take pride in what they do. Like I take pride in doing what I do here, or I take pride in creating music for everybody.
Yeah, you had great style, man, and I like you wore all types of wild T-shirts and the shorts. You always had like shorts with all types of prints on them. Now that I think about it, and then you had that iconic the Tweety, was it a Tweety Bird shirt you had at one point? Mm-hmm. I remember all that, man, and it was so long ago.
It got really. Remember, we weren't just playing like coliseums. We would play really small places sometimes just to have fun. And man, is it hot, dude? You guys have no idea how fucking hot it is up there. Them lights are really hot. When you play small places, the lights are very low, and it's hot, man.
Yeah.
So like, why not be comfortable? You know, I don't want to get my fucking balls all fucking chaffed up and shit. So, wear some nice loose shorts, you know, be comfortable. And a lot of times, fans would give me a shirt like Tweety Bird or whatnot, and I was just, you know, doing something cool for someone that I met that. Maybe they traveled very far, you know, to give me that present, you know. So I'll make use of that, you know.
So the Tweety Bird shirt was from a fan, you're saying?
I don't. It could have been. I don't remember. So I don't want to say yes or no. It could have been.
Because that's like a iconic shirt on you. That like you've worn that, and fans that like the diehard fans will always remember that look. Just like the guitar with the Ninja Turtles on it.
Well, my life's beach shorts. Again, nobody paid us a nickel for any of the shit, people. We just found something that fit us, that was cool, that we liked, and we just wanted to let everybody else know, you know, this stuff's cool. You know, like if I can wear it and it can be washed all the time and under the hot lights, then it's a good product. You know, like check it out.
And I think that's what made the Big Four so special because, you know, like I know me, I was dressing just like you guys as a kid. You know, I wasn't wearing the Jordans yet. My father didn't understand that yet, like spending that kind of money on kicks. But like I wore the same type of shirts and everything, just like all the guys from Slayer, Megadeth, Metallica. So like we related to that, us kids. We'd see like the hairband stuff. We ain't doing our hair all. I'm from New York. Like we weren't shit. You know what I mean? Like you'd be laughing that you looked like that. Putting makeup on, you know, do what you like though. I'm not dissing people that do that, but it's like, you know, like that's what was so like relatable to you guys. And also, of course, the music and the words and the excitement of like this roller coaster ride of riffs and then just pre-choruses. It was always exciting. I think that's what was so special about thrash metal and the Big Four especially. So, man, where can they find you? We got to put that out there because you got a brand new IG too, which is promoting your business, and I want people to know about that, please.
This facility is called Delray Beach Vintage Watches.com or Instagram. It's the same thing with like underscores between each name. Delray underscore.
We're gonna put that in the description too.
Cool. All good.
Anything else you'd like to share before we go?
I think we covered more than
I didn't realize we did almost 2 hours, man. Man, I appreciate your time, man. Thank you, sir.
No problem at all. It's my pleasure to give out some of these cool stories.
Man. I mean,
everyone deserves to know. I know that you've been wanting to do this for a while, and I know I couldn't give you guys model numbers, serial numbers, and all that shit. You know,
no, we don't need that shit.
Back then, sneakers weren't collectibles, right? They were tools, and so it wasn't like, hey, they look cool. It was like, you know, will these work to do the job we need them to do them, you know, for? And then Jordan figured out a way to make, you know, the top. Nothing ever topped it.
No. There's still, to this day, nothing's more iconic than the Air Jordan shoe. I mean, they're still selling out to this day. It's 2024.
Amazing.
Yeah, man. Just like Anthrax music still banging through the speakers. These young kids are still listening to your solos.
Forever. If I plug in, the fucking earth shakes and Mars shakes too.
My daughter and my son mess around because my son has autism, so he'll play with the drums. And my daughter, and they'll do I play the Indian song, and they start messing with it.
That's awesome.
There's new generations of it all. And, man, appreciate your time. Make sure to support everything Dan Spitz does. Thank you for watching. Share with a friend or you ain't a friend. Smash the like, and we'll check you later. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you to Dan Spitz for kicking it with your boy Delz. I had so much fun. It was so surreal just talking about so much with this legendary guitarist. And in my opinion, one of the greatest guitarists in thrash metal. And I don't think he gets his flowers, you know, and it's important to give people their flowers while they're still on this planet right here. If you haven't left a comment, let me know your thoughts. And if you still got nothing to say, let me know your favorite Anthrax song if you made it through the whole podcast. It was a long discussion, a great discussion. Who do you want on the show next? Let me know. And here's some options right here. I'd love you to watch more. Subscribe. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you soon. More information in the description box with Dan and your boy Delz. And we out. Yeah.